Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, I'll be discussing two major branches of Islam, Sunni and Shia. Today, Sunnis represent about 85 to 90% of the Muslim world, whilst Shias are about 10 to 15%. Both Sunni and Shia share some core values, but we do have some major differences. Let's try to understand these differences today in a respectful and informative way. The first fitna, which led to the murder of Uthman radiallahu anhu and the Battle of Jamal and the Battle of Siffin. This first fitna created the first Muslim sect, the Khawarij. In response to the Khawarij and the Umayyads, a new terminology was born, Shi'atu Ali. Shi'atu Ali simply means the party of Ali. And at that time, they were not Sunnis or Shias. They were just the followers, the supporters of Ali radiallahu anhu. From this Shi'atu Ali, this party of Ali, his followers, two groups emerged. One group believed that Ali and al-Bayt had the right to Caliphate. The other group, they believed Ali has the right to Caliphate, but without designating any religious authority to the al-Bayt. See, things, they start with an idea. Ideas are very powerful. When that idea becomes accepted and it's widespread, it has the power to lead to big movements. This idea eventually became a part of an aqidah, a belief which distinguished between Shia and Sunni. So initially, Shi'atu Ali, it was a political ideology used in support of Ali against the Umayyads and the Khawarij. So before I get into details about the differences between the two, we need to understand a little bit more about the Shia. The Shia, they have many factions just like the Sunnis as well. But let's find out what unites all the Shia. Two major events. The first event, it's called Ghadir. After Rasulullah S.A.W.'s farewell pilgrimage, he returned from Makkah and he stopped at a place called Ghadir. Ghadir means pond, Khum is just the name of a valley. So he stopped in that place and he gave a khutbah. And in that khutbah he said, "He whose Mawla I am, Ali is his Mawla." Both Sunnis and Shia agree to this statement, but they both interpret it very differently. The word Mawla has many meanings. It can mean a helper, a friend, master, leader, someone with authority, guardian, freed slave. So the understanding of the meaning is derived from the context. So the Shia, they understood the word Mawla to mean in this context as someone with authority. So they say Rasulullah S.A.W. was giving political authority to Ali after him. So this event for the Shia is a clear proof that Rasulullah announced that after him, Ali should be the next caliph. This day, the Shia, they celebrate it as a day of Eid. It's called Eid al-Ghadir. The second most important event which strengthened and united all the Shia, it's Karbala. I'll talk about Karbala in a bit. So far, we've understood one thing, that Shia Islam started as a political ideology. First in disagreement with the earlier caliphs, then opposing the Khawarij, and then opposing the Umayyads. But what about Sunni Islam? Sunni Islam was not created in response to any specific group or event. It emerged organically from early Islamic history because the Muslims felt the need to preserve unity and stability of the Muslim Ummah. At that time, Muslims were going through a very complex phase of sectarianism, political movements, theological movements, and there was a dire need to preserve what had passed down to them before it starts getting mixed with too many innovations and new ideas. And this led to Sunni Islam. That's why Sunni Muslims are called al-sunnah wal-jama'a. Those who follow the Sunnah, and Jama'a means unity, a commitment to unity against sectarianism and division. Let's talk about the formation of the Shia identity. Although it was the political and the military context which initiated the term Shi'atu Ali, but it took decades before the term Shia was associated with a distinct theological group. Initially, as I mentioned before, the word Shia just meant the supporters of Ali, but it was the event of Karbala. In Karbala, not only Imam Hussein was martyred, alongside 6 other sons of Ali radiallahu anhu were also martyred. Hussein's 2 sons were martyred, Hassan's 2 sons were martyred, may Allah be pleased with them all, and many of Ali radiallahu anhu, his grandchildren, were also martyred. So Karbala actually became a central event for the Shia that symbolizes a struggle against oppression and injustice. The tragedy of Karbala cemented the idea of Imamate. Imamate is the belief that the right of leadership of the Muslim Ummah belongs to Ali, Fatima and their descendants, may Allah be pleased with them all, and they are divinely chosen, infallible, they do not sin, and they are spiritually superior over all of us. Both Sunnis and Shias share some core values, and that's why they both don't do takfir of one another, because they both believe in Tawheed, in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, both follow the teachings of the Quran, although they both have their own interpretation. Obviously both believe that Rasulullah is the last prophet, they both follow the 5 pillars of Islam, they both uphold, essential Islamic values like justice, etc. But both Sunnis and Shias have some major differences. Let's talk about these differences. First difference, it's the leadership. The Sunnis believe the leader, the Caliph, he should be selected either through consensus or consultation. And they believe that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he was selected by consensus. So they approve his Khilafah. Later on, then the Umayyads came and many didn't agree with the approach to leadership. But Sunnis agree that as long as someone is qualified to rule, they can be a caliph. There is no restriction to be from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be a caliph. As for the Shia Muslims, they believe the caliph can only be from al-Bayt, from the descendants of Ali radiallahu anhu. This is known as the concept of Imamate. An Imam is someone who is divinely chosen and who is infallible. So there is a core difference between Imamate and a Caliphate. So for Sunnis, a Caliph is the political leader who leads the Muslim Ummah, and he does not have any kind of divine status. As for Shias, an Imam is not just a political leader, but he's also a spiritual leader. He has an authority which has been inherited from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another key difference between Sunnis and Shias, it's when it comes to the Sahaba. Sunnis respect all Sahaba. They refer to all the Sahabas as radiallahu anhum, may Allah be pleased with them all. As for Shias, they are selective in their respect for Sahaba. Apart from these theological differences, there are also some fiqhi differences. So Sunnis pray 5 times a day. As for Shia, they pray 5 prayers as well, but they pray 3 times a day. They combine their Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib and Isha, and there are also some differences in how both of them pray. Another difference is in the celebrations. Sunnis celebrate 2 Eid. As for Shia, they celebrate a 3rd one called Eid al-Ghadir. Another difference between the two is their approach to Ashura. Sunnis fast on that day because Rasulullah ﷺ fasted that day as a sign of gratitude, because on that day, Musa alayhi salam, he had saved the Banu Israel. As for Shia, Ashura for them, it signifies the event of Karbala, a tragic event for them, so it's a day of mourning for the Shia. Another key difference between the two is their approach to al-Bayt. Both Sunni and Shias respect al-Bayt, but Shias, for them, the al-Bayt, there is some sort of spiritual significance attached to them, so they would invoke, make lots of du'as for the al-Bayt. So as I mentioned, in the 7th century, these differences started as political differences, which then led to theological differences. These theological differences have to be recorded, so it's very important to understand the scholarly movement. When were the core books of both the Sunni and Shia written? When were the main hadith books written down? For Sunnis, it was towards the end of 9th century and early 10th century when the Sihha Sitta, the 6 authentic hadith books, were compiled. The Sunni and the Shia hadith books have differences because the Shia, they emphasize a lot on the narrations which praise the Ahlul Bayt. So for the Shia, their hadith books were also written around the 10th century. So one of their famous hadith book called Al-Kafi by Al-Kulayni was written towards the mid-10th century. In the 9th, 10th and 11th century, this literary movement was on the rise. So in that period, the classical Sunni theological books were also written down. So Imam al-Ash'ari and al-Maturidi both passed away in mid-10th century, so their books were also compiled in that 10th century. As for the Shia, the concept of Imamate had also become central to their theology and books were written down. So towards 10th century, they were also writing down their classical Shia theological books. But after the line of Imams ended and the last Imam, they considered him in hiding, then a problem arose. who is going to be the next Imam. Then to solve this issue, they came up with something called Wilayatul Faqih. Wilayatul Faqih means the guardianship of an Islamic jurist. This concept of Wilayatul Faqih actually gained prominence during the Safavid era. The Safavid were the first ones who actually made the Ithna Ashara, the 12 Shia, the state religion of Iran. And there were a lot of books written on Wilayatul Faqih. So the idea of Wilayatul Faqih, it basically gives the leader some sort of authority as a jurist as well. So in summary, 7th and 8th century is all about political issues. 9th and 10th centuries when the classical books on theology, hadith, these books are being written down. 11th and 12th century, more comprehensive theological systems are being established, both by the Sunni and the Shia scholars. Both Sunnis and Shias have many subsects. Sunnis are normally kind of divided into the school of law they follow, but there are not major differences in these schools of laws. So the 4 schools of law are Malikis, Hanafis, Shafi'is and Hanbalis. Then the Sunnis also have 3 prominent theological schools they follow, the Athari, Ash'ari and Maturidi. And for Shias, they have lots of subsects as well, but 4 factions are the most important ones. The first one, which is the majority, are the 12 Shia, Ithna Ashariya. They are prominent in Iran and they are called the 12ers because they believe in the succession of 12 Imams, starting with Imam Ali and ending on Imam Mahdi. And they believe that Imam Mahdi is in hiding and he will return back. Same as Sunnis, they believe that Imam Mahdi is going to come back towards the end of times. Then the next Shia faction are called Ismaili Shia. The Ismaili Shia are actually very, very different from all of the Shia groups. They differ from the 12 Shia as they kind of believe in the line of 7 Imams or more Imams. But their last Imam is Ismail bin Ja'far, and they believe that Ismail, he didn't die, but he's in occultation, he's in hiding and he will return. So they're also divided into further subsects. One of their famous one is actually the Nizari Ismailis led by Agha Khan. There are quite a few videos about Agha Khan and the Ismaili sects on YouTube if you want to watch them. Then the third Shia faction are called Zaydi Shias. They are prominent in Yemen. So now there was an Imam from Ali's descendants, radiallahu anh. His name was Zayd bin Ali. He was the grandson of Hussein, radiallahu anh. Zayd actually led an uprising against the Umayyads. He was defeated and martyred, but this uprising led to a separate Shia faction called Zaydis. From the Shias, it's actually the Zaydis who are actually quite close to Sunnis. They don't believe in the infallibility of the Imams, and they also don't disrespect the early Khulafa Rashidun. The 4th group are the Alawite Shia. They're also called the Nusayris. They are prominent in Syria. Bashar al-Assad, he was from the Alawites. They are very, very different from all the other Shia. They have other religions and some traditions combined within their beliefs. Both Sunnis and Shias have subsects. Both have political history, political differences which became part of their theology and became part of their everyday actions. It's okay to have differences, but the key is respect and tolerance. If that is lost, then there's an issue with our moral conduct. If you found my video useful, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe and turn the notifications. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.